In this video, we are going to see laws of osmotic pressure. Students, in the previous videos, we have seen what is osmosis, what is osmotic pressure and reverse osmosis. In this video, we'll be seeing some of the laws and the ways to calculate the actual osmotic pressure for a given concentration of the solution. And for that, we'll be taking help of two laws which we have studied in 11th standard. The first law what I'll be using is Boyle's law. You know what is Boyle's law, that pressure is inversely proportional to volume provided temperature remains constant. And second law what I will be using is Charles' law, according to which volume is directly proportional to absolute temperature at constant pressure. Now I will be using the two laws, that is Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law and Van 't Hoff-Charles' law. So let us start and see what is Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law. So this is what is Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law. Students, here if you see the term, the first term is at constant temperature, which is very important. The osmotic pressure means osmotic pressure we denote it by pi of a dilute solution. It is very important that you have to write the term dilute solution, because then only the Raoult's law will be applicable, as Raoult's law is applicable for dilute solutions where the concentration it should not exceed 0.02 molar, and here they say that is directly proportional to its molar concentration, that is C, or inversely proportional to the volume of the solution or its dilution. So according to this, what I can write is osmotic pressure is directly proportional to its molar concentration. Students, you know that molar concentration means the concentration varies inversely to its volume. Say for example, I have a cold drink bottle and this cold drink bottle is full. The concentration here is say 1 molar. Now I have consumed half of this cold drink bottle. Now the remaining what I have here is 1 molar. But all of a sudden if visits your house, what you can do is, if I add water to this to increase the volume, what will happen to concentration? Concentration will decrease. So the concentration and volume, they have inverse relation here. So I can say C is inversely proportional to volume. So pi is equal to or is directly proportional to concentration, while inversely proportional to its volume or dilution. In both the cases, I must write that temperature remains constant. Now we never keep the equation in this form, so I will be using a proportionality constant. Let us see what is that proportionality constant, that is K. So how I can reframe the equation? Pi is equal to K by V. If I bring this V to this side, I can get that pi V is equal to K. Now what is K, student? K is a constant. So the final equation will be that pi V is equal to constant at constant temperature. So this is what is Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law. I can reframe the definition for this law, that is the product of the osmotic pressure and its volume is constant at constant temperature for a given dilute solution. So that is also Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law. Let us see Van 't Hoff-Charles law now. So this is what is Van 't Hoff-Charles law. Let us see what is there in this law. They say that the osmotic pressure means pi of a dilute solution. Again I am repeating, why dilute? Because it is following Raoult's law, is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. But in this case, the concentration remains constant. So according to Van 't Hoff-Charles law, pi is directly proportional to temperature provided concentration remains constant. Now we cannot keep the equation in this form, so what I will do is I will replace this proportionality sign by a proportionality constant, that is Kt. If I reframe this, pi by T is equal to K. What is K? Is a constant, so pi by T is equal to constant. So this is what the equation is, that is equation 2. The previous equation was 1, so that is Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law. This is Van 't Hoff-Charles law. Now let us see the next one, that is Van 't Hoff general equation. So this is Van 't Hoff general solution equation. Students, if the question is asked for 2 marks, then you can directly start from here giving only the equations for the 2 laws. If the question is asked for 3 marks, then you have to start with Van 't Hoff-Boyle's law. You have to give the statement, then the derivation. Similarly for the Charles law, and then you have to come to this. So here I will write according to Van 't Hoff's law, what we have seen, pi is directly proportional to concentration or molar concentration provided temperature remains constant. I'll mark this as equation 1. Next is according to Van 't Hoff's law, pi is directly proportional to its absolute temperature provided concentration remains constant. I'll mark this as equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, what I get here, if I see this, osmotic pressure is directly proportional to concentration, and here osmotic pressure is also directly proportional to temperature. We have seen one more equation for this, and that was pi is inversely proportional to its volume. So you can use any one of this equation. So what I can write is osmotic pressure is directly proportional to absolute temperature according to this equation, and is inversely proportional to volume. So I can write it 1 upon V. So I will get the equation in this way, right? Now if I want to rearrange this equation, or if I want to remove this, I can have them in step by step. So what I will have here, pi is equal to, now I am replacing this, so I will get KT by V. If I bring this V to this side, I will get pi V is equal to KT. Now this reminds me of an equation, that is PV is equal to a constant into T. That is an ideal gas equation. But here I cannot replace this K until and unless I make one statement, and the statement is as the concentration is dilute. Let me clean this, students. So when I can use the statement that as the solution is dilute, what I can have? Solution is dilute, so it must follow Raoult's law. And if it is obeying Raoult's law, the solution is ideal. So this statement is very, very important, that as the solution is dilute, it is obeying or following Raoult's law. As it is following Raoult's law, the solution is an ideal solution, and therefore this K constant is same as the gas constant, that is R. So I can replace this here. So what I will get, student? Pi V is equal to RT for 1 mole. Now if I want to make this for n mole, what I can do is I can simply rearrange this equation, and I get pi V is equal to nRT. This will be for n mole. Now let us make some rearrangements, and we will have 2 equations from this, and those 2 will be the final equations for the calculations. Now I am writing pi is equal to, I am shifting this V to this side, this is n by V RT. What is n by V, students? N by V is the active mass, or it is the molar concentration C. So what I can get is pi, I'll mark this equation as equation 3. Pi is equal to CRT. What is C? C is n by V, that is the molar concentration. So I got this equation as equation number 4. Now I want to make some changes in equation 3. If I say W2 gram of the solute of molar mass M2 is dissolved in the solvent, then what is N is equal to? What is N, students? N is the number of moles. Number of moles of the solute will be equal to given mass of the solute upon molar mass. Now I can substitute the value of N2 here in the equation here. So what I will get is pi is equal to W2 by M2 RT on V. So this is what the equation we can use. You know that osmotic pressure is a colligative property, and therefore colligative properties, they are used to calculate the molar mass of the solutes. And so I will just reframe this equation. I will bring this M2 to this side. So I will get M2 is equal to W2 RT upon, I will get here osmotic pressure into volume. So this is equation 5. Most of the time, according to the new syllabus, directly you can have one factor, that is Van 't Hoff factor. you can refer to Van 't Hoff factor videos. What I can have here is, for this equation, so pi is equal to ICRT, where I is the Van 't Hoff factor. Same will be for this, that is M2 is equal to I W2RT upon pi V. So those are the formulas what are used here. Let us discuss now what the terms which are used here and how to use them during the calculation. Here pi is the osmotic pressure whose units, they can be ATM, mmHg, cmHg, it can be torr, it can be Pascal, it can be Newton per meter square. So all the units which are there for pressure are the units for osmotic pressure. What is C, students? C is the molar concentration. So C unit will be mole per dm cube. When I say it is per dm cube, the unit for volume here it must be in liter, or dm cube should be the unit for volume, right? Now this R I will discuss later. Temperature here, temperature must be in Kelvin. Next is the W2. So whatever will be the unit for W2, whether gram or kg, same will be the unit for your answer. That if you take this in gram, your answer will be in gram, or if you take this in kg, this will be in kg. Second very important thing is the value of R. When you are calculating the particular problems, then this R value, usually we consider this in liter atmosphere, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse, when the volume is in liter and the pressure, that is osmotic pressure, is in atm. So the value here is 0.08205 liter atmosphere, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse. If the unit changes to Newton per meter square or cubic meter for this, then this value is taken in J, that is 8.314 J, mole inverse, Kelvin inverse. Thank you, students.